Hamza's rise in success is well deserved. He's well on his way to mastering the best ways to get views and popularity on YouTube. And I don't doubt that his videos have helped, thousands and thousands of young men in their self-improvement journey. But all exchanges have a price. And Hamza's rise in success has had the all too common side effect of making his content less relatable. It's something that others have noticed too. The core feelings of his videos have changed from being humble and relatable, heart to heart, human to human, to being more extreme and radical. His videos feel more YouTubey, for lack of a better word. I no longer feel like I'm watching a young man detail his experiences and give real, honest advice based on what he's learned. I feel like I'm watching a show where Hamza is a character, and although his advice is useful, it's less impactful when it doesn't feel like it's coming from the heart. The type of thing that I'm talking about can be seen when comparing these two clips that I'm about to show. Both of these videos are talking about the benefits that reading brings, but the way they get that message across is very different. This first clip is from the 1st of January 2021, about 6 months before his channel really blew up.
The last 1 year or so, I've been reading a lot about self-improvement, about business, about productivity, mental health, physical health, diet, and my success in all of these things perfectly correlates with what I read about it. I've never been a productive guy. I didn't even care about productivity. I couldn't have even defined it for you. And as I read the 4-hour work week, my productivity skyrocketed. I actually get some stuff done in the day, which is huge for a guy like me.
This is the kind of video that made me fall in love with this channel, man. You can call it amateurish, and yeah, compared with his newer videos, the production quality and editing is nowhere near as good, as we'll see in a second. But you can't deny that this feels like Hamza is actually talking to you, a genuine heart-to-heart based on his experiences. This style resonates with me so much. It feels like interacting with a person, not a character. Now let's look at this clip from a newer video, from the 25th of March 2022, and the difference will be immediately noticeable.
Why don't you read? Is it that you're so certain that you are right and all of the people who credit their success to reading books are wrong? Is it definitely true that you are right? Chances are it's not. Or maybe you're part of the group of guys who understands that reading is valuable, but you simply just haven't implemented it into your life because you don't have enough time. Too many young guys want to cash out now and get as much money as they can right now. And that's why so many young people are totally fine with such a low salary or a business that isn't successful.
Now, the editing is amazing. It's effective and looks really professional. We're not here to argue against that. I also want to say that I did cut and jump around in this video for the sake of time, so it's not one continuous clip, but the part that I did cut out doesn't really change anything. What I do want to point out is the clear shift in the style of content towards an us versus them mentality. These guys are wrong. Their motives for wanting to work when they're younger are wrong, and if they want to be correct, they should do exactly what I say. You are wrong for thinking this way. Or you're part of the good group, but you're not quite there yet, so to stay good and get better, listen to what I say. You want to be on the correct side, right? See, any examples of the other way of thinking have Jeffrey faces on them, and you don't want to be a Jeffrey, so you're not going to do that. You want to be like Adonis. The messages in these newer videos have consistently gone away from this idea of this is what I did and how it worked for me, and instead moved towards if you do anything other than what I say, you are the scum of the earth and don't deserve to share the same oxygen that I breathe. A bit of an exaggeration, but you get my point. This way of talking is especially effective towards young men who feel abandoned by society and lost in their life. They hear this confident, successful, older male figure telling them that if they do exactly what he says without thinking, yes, he literally tells you to let his brain do the thinking for you, then they are guaranteed success. And the thing is, his advice is still good. There is still immense value in what he's saying. The problem is that it comes at the cost of promoting blind faith. Do not trust your brain. You are too stupid and ignorant to think for yourself. And if you do, you're a Jeffrey and you deserve to be made fun of. It's a really clever business tactic, but a dangerous lesson to be teaching to young people. Do not ever give your total faith to anyone, no matter how good their advice is. You should always be thinking and experimenting for yourself. There is nobody, not in a book, on the internet or anywhere, nobody that will have an objective list of things to do and rules to follow that are perfect for everyone. You are an individual with an incredibly complex identity based on your unique environment. Being told, for example, that the only correct thing to do is to stay at your parents' house to save money is terrible advice when that's an environment full of toxicity, abuse, and danger. If you follow Hamza's advice as gospel, like he regularly tells you to do, whether directly or indirectly, you'll be trapped by feeling that you can't leave. If you leave, you're a Jeffrey for not doing what he says, and after hundreds of videos, that's the last thing that you want to be. Nowhere is this more apparent than his desire to create a cult and be a cult leader. Now, I honestly thought this was a joke when I first heard it, and that the word cult was being used ironically. But ever since his explosion in popularity, either I was wrong, or something that started as a joke has been warped into something now unironic. Cults are evil. They promote blind faith in their leaders and condemn free thinking. Hamza's Discord and community is great for sure and has helped tons of people, but do not see it as a cult or him as a cult leader. Always be skeptical about what someone tells you until you have confirmed for yourself that it applies to you and is correct. Now, you can argue that dumbass kids who don't know better need someone to tell them exactly what to do and what not to do, and one way to do this is to make the alternative seem so wrong, so Jeffrey, that they're too scared to do it. But again, this leaves no room for expression or discovery. What applies to one person may not apply to another. It may be the worst advice you can give them. And even if it does apply, it doesn't mean that they should follow it to the letter. Now, Hamza does say that he is not perfect. He does say that he's not qualified and says that he wants to be more of an introduction to self-improvement, and that when people will get onto self-improvement, they should go and, research what the experts have to say in any given field. The thing is that even if he does say this every now and then, it doesn't change the fact that his attitude in most of his videos kind of give the opposite effect. Now, I do want to end this by saying that I still think Hamza's channel and his videos are a fantastic resource for men who want to better their lives. I do watch his videos and still do learn from them, and I credit a lot of the success I've had in my self-improvement journey from what I've learned from him. I also acknowledge that the change in his style of videos has helped him grow. You can see his success on a graph or any YouTube metrics site, and it is obviously working for him. And his goal of reaching a wider audience and getting more men onto self-improvement 100% benefits from this. But like I said, I can't help but see the decline in what made Hamza's videos special in my eyes. I don't feel like I'm watching videos from Hamza the person anymore. Hamza the YouTuber speaks to me now, and other than a few exceptions, tells me to not think for myself. That's something that I will never get behind. Always think for yourself, especially when Hamza makes you not feel like it. Mwah!